Hello everyone, hope you're doing well and welcome to the JavaScript Complete Course. In this video we are going to talk about two new methods which are querySelector and querySelectorAll. So before jumping out to the main point, if you didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so you get the notification of my new video when I upload it. Alright, so let's get started. In this video we are going to learn the querySelector and querySelectorAll. In previous video we learned these three methods for targeting DOM like getElement by ID, getElement by name, and getElements by tag name. Now the problem is here, if you want to target the different HTML elements, we need to memorize these three methods for every single element. Like for ID we need to memorize ID, getElement by ID, or for class we need to memorize this, as you can see. And for tag name we need to memorize this method. So you may ask, is it possible to use only one method for all elements? For this we have two methods which are querySelector and querySelectorAll. So for querySelector we use document.querySelector, and inside the parentheses we have a double quotation, and inside the double quotation we are going to use a CSS selector. And for querySelectorAll we use document.querySelectorAll, and inside the opening and closing parentheses we have a double quotation, and inside the double quotation we have a CSS selector. Now you may confuse what is the CSS selector. If you don't know about the CSS selector, I already created a video, the link is at the description, about a CSS selector, the complete CSS course. You can watch that videos as well. Now you may ask, what is the difference between these two methods? The differences between these two is that the querySelector will select the first HTML element between many HTML elements, but the querySelectorAll will select all HTML elements with the same name. Let me jump over to the exercise file and we are going to take a look all of these. So this is our previous exercise file. As you can see, we have created, and here you can see we have used this getElement by ID and pass the ID here, and after that we add the main header here. As you can see, for ID we use getElement ID, and for class we need to use getElements by class name, something like this. So what we are going to do, we are going to use, instead of all of these, we are going to use one method which is querySelector, and we can pass all tag names, class names, and IDs. So for this, what we are going to do, we are going to first remove all of these, and instead of getElement by ID we are going to say querySelector, and after that inside opening and closing parentheses and inside the double quotation you can use a single quotation as well, but after that we are going to use the CSS selector, which is for class we have hashtag, for ID we have hashtag, for class we have a dot, and for tag name we can use only the name of the tag. So for this, let me jump over what is the heading, and let's jump over to the top of the page. Heading is just simple ID. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass the ID here. So now let's save this, and now let's jump over to the first. Let me use the element is equal to. Now let's save this, and now let's right click, come to the inspect, and let's jump over to the console, and here you can see it will give us the complete div h1 ID, the heading ID here with the h1 inside. So this is the use of the querySelector, and you can also use the class here. For class we have a dot list. CSS selector for class is dot. So I'm going to save this. So as you can see, it will print the UL of the list. But let me show you that I have the list class two times here. The first one is this UL list and the second is paragraph. But you can see it will print the first one and ignore the second one. You can see right here, it's not going to print the paragraph here. Query selector will select only the first one. For selecting all of these, we have another method which is querySelectorAll. For this we are going to say all, and when I save this, here we go, it will create an array and print all the elements with the same name or same classes. Here we go, zero index. In index 0 we have UL list, and in index 1 we have a paragraph. But if you want to only print the paragraph, for that we are going to use index 1. The paragraph is the second, it is in index 1, so I'm going to save this. Here we go, it will only print the show as the paragraph here. And if you want to remove this tag, for this I'm going to say dot inner, and when I save this, here we go, the HTML tag moves. So now let me show you this in a tag name as well. So for tag name I have also the UL. I think I have a UL two times here. Yeah, it is two times. So for this I'm going to remove this list and use the UL here. And when I save this, here we go, it will create an array and show us the two index, which is 0 is UL, and the second one is also the UL with the list name, with list class name. And also if you want to display the first one, here we, excuse me, the 0 index, and when I save this, here we go, it will print as this menu, you can see right here. And if you want to remove this HTML tags, for this we have inner HTML, and save this, and it moves, it removes the UL tag. So hope you understand until this point. Now let's use the advanced CSS selector. For this, what we are going to do here, I'm going to use the hashtag. Let me check the name, the title name of my web page, and this subheader, excuse me, heading. Let's use heading. And if you want to select specified element which is inside the ID or class, for this I'm going to use the advanced CSS selector, which is H1, like this. So first we are going to target the name of the class or ID. After that we are going to target the tag name that we want to display on the screen. So for this I'm going to save this. Here we go, it will create an array and show us that only one element exists inside the heading 1. So let me copy this and paste it here, and I'm going to make this main header. Here we go, it will display here, and also it will show us that there are two tag names or two index exist in this ID, which is H1 and H1 same, and the length is 2. So that's it. Hope you understand until this point. If you have any question, any suggestion, please leave the comment below. If you didn't subscribe my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you'll get the notification of my new video when I upload them. And also, if you still don't know what is the CSS selector, and the link is at the description, you can watch that. I already created the CSS course. You can follow that course as well.